Hello and welcome to English and More with me, David. You are in the right place. You are watching the right video. If you would like to speak better English, how can I guarantee that? Stick around and I will tell you why I can guarantee that or how I can guarantee that. This video is for you if you are an intermediate English speaker or advanced or even proficient English speaker and you would like to speak better English and understand why English speakers like me say some of the things that we say. This video is probably not for you if you are a first language English speaker. Some people say a native English speaker. So if English is your home language, this is probably not the right video for you. You might be an ESL teacher. You are teaching English as a second language or a foreign language. Maybe you are a first language home English speaker. English is your home language and you're just curious about some interesting topics. Look at that pair of words, that couple of words. Curious about something. I'm curious about what you do for fun. What do you do for fun? I'm curious. Remember, never try to speak perfectly, always just try to speak well. Nobody speaks perfectly, and I would encourage you, I do encourage you to make mistakes. Do not feel uncomfortable if you make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes, including me. Never lose your beautiful accent, always just try to speak clearly. And this is my guarantee to you. If you read everything out loud, or if you read everything aloud, you will improve very quickly. Your English speaking will improve very quickly. How do I know this? Because I work with many clients who have not read everything out loud or aloud, and I compare their progress, their speed of improvement to when they do read everything out loud in their spare time, when they are learning. And the second option, when you read everything out loud or aloud, is much, much, much better than when people just read words on a page, but they don't say what they are reading. You must read aloud so that you can hear what you are reading. What should you be reading? For example, this spreadsheet, which I will send to you in PDF format every week if you subscribe through my website, www.englishandmore.co.za. The link is very clear in the spreadsheet. There it is. It is very clear. And I will send you the PDF format of the spreadsheet, and you can read everything in the vocabulary tabs. Quite a few vocabulary tabs. Lots of things for you to read out loud. Of course, you don't just have to read what is in the spreadsheet. You can just read everything out loud. So today, for example, I will show you 2 articles. You can follow the links in the spreadsheet. You can pause the video, read the entire articles or sections of the articles out loud, and then come back to this video and see what I have to say about the vocabulary or some of the ideas, or you can look at some of the things that my clients said incorrectly during the week, and then you can see how I have helped them improve. Okay, so let's move straight away to some ways that are useful when speaking about money. Things that you can say that are useful when you speak about money. A few clients had issues with this over the past week or during the past week, and I thought it would be useful just to use this as the weekly tip, the big weekly helpful hint. So often people will ask you, how much did that cost? How much did your phone cost? Or how much does your phone cost? Generally, usually in the past tense, how much did your phone cost? And people might answer like this. They might just say $500, 500 crowns, 500 won. Probably not crowns or won for a phone. Dollars, the currency is much stronger. Let me write that. a much stronger currency. Spelt terribly. I'm sorry, my keys are sticking. My keyboard has sticking keys. The keys are sticking. I need a new keyboard. So we can answer simply $500, and someone might say, oh, that's a lot of money. Okay, these are fairly obvious, fairly easy. Someone might ask you, where is the money I gave you? But not where are the money I gave you. So please note, money here is singular. The word money is singular. It's like water or air or sand. Very difficult to count when you're not saying how much money you are talking about. So the money is in my wallet. How much money? Oh, that's different. You could say there is $50 in my wallet, or there is 50 rand, South African rand in my country, a very weak currency, not a strong currency, a weak currency. The problem is this is a bit of a gray area. Technically, you can count the dollars or the rands very easily. And even here, people say 50 rand, but we should say rands because there is more than one. There are several rands. The word several should also be commented on here. How much or many is several? Well, it is not specific. Several could just mean more than 2, probably less than 12. Why? Because we have a word for 2, which is a couple, and we have a word for 12, which is a dozen. So for me, several is somewhere between that, which probably is why it sounds like the word 7. Somewhere between 2 and 12. Do not quote me on that one. Don't quote me. That's just how I think about it. Don't quote me. Okay, so money. So this is a bit of a gray area. Do you say there is or are? So technically it is correct to say something completely different. I have $50 in my wallet. So you can bypass or avoid this issue, this debate. It's not a debate, it's an issue. So let me just write that down. You can bypass it. You can get around it without having to say the right thing because this is grammatically correct. I have $50 in my wallet, but it is technically correct to say that there are $50 in my wallet because dollars is plural. So here is your explanation. And this is a short explanation of why some English speakers like me say there is $50 because you are saying that there is one amount, the amount of $50 in my wallet. That is the amount. And the amount is 1. So there is the amount of $50 in my wallet. So they're both correct. One is technically correct and the other is correct because that's just what most people say. But you can say, I have $50 in my wallet. That's really helpful. Okay, and when you're talking about prices and costs in general, it costs to $20. It costs $20. Yes, it was $1,000. The item, it was $1,000. And how much does it cost? Around $30 when you do not want to be exact or precise. When you are checking for money, like, is there money in my wallet? Yes, I have 50 euros in my pocket. No, we have spent it all of the money, it. And sure, how much money do you need? How much do you need? Also, you're not saying, let me give you $50. You're asking, how much do you need? So it's not specific. I agree, let's find something cheaper. That's too expensive. Let's find something cheaper. Was it worth it? $10? Yes, it's worth the price. I'm happy to have paid that money. Past tense or past tense, if you want to sound American. Past tense, it was worth the price, or it is worth the price. So context here, context matters for if it is the past tense or the present tense. Actually, this one looks like it is the present tense. This meal is a good deal for $10. Yeah, it is right now. Yes, it's worth the price. Maybe it's on sale. That's why it is so cheap. Remember, you can pause this video and say these sentences out loud or aloud, and that will really help you improve quickly because you will remember what you are saying because you are reading it, saying it, and hearing it. A multi-sensory experience, which I have written about in previous videos and in previous spreadsheets. So watch the previous videos if you would like to understand why I just said a multi-sensory experience. Can I pay by card? Sorry, we only accept cash. Do you have change for $100? Yes, here is 250s. That looks wrong. Yes, here is 250s. I would have said here are 250s because there are two of them. Does it really matter? I don't think anyone will notice that technical incorrect sentence. Technically incorrect sentence. Keep the change. Thank you. And then just three more. How much do you need to save? How much money do you need to save? Now you'll have to be careful with your spending. Be careful with your spending. Be careful with a knife. Be careful with any dangerous object or potentially dangerous. It is potentially dangerous, which means it has the potential to be dangerous. It's like it can be dangerous. An investment has the potential to be profitable, but it might not be. So how did we get there? You'll have to be careful with your spending. Be careful with that potentially dangerous situation because you've spent all your money. And how much do you earn? Ooh, in my country, people don't really ask that question. I'd rather not say, or I'd rather not say. I'm not going to tell you. If you would like a free resource, you can head over to my website. Remember, the link is in the spreadsheet if you get it from me, and you can click on the free ebook button. It will take you to another page, and you can enter your name, your email address, and you will be subscribed to my email list, and that's how you get the free resource. About a 20-page document with really helpful tips for English learners, people who are learning to speak English better. Not for beginners, for intermediate to proficient and advanced English speakers. Okay, moving on. So I have 3 phrases for you that are about money and value. You'll see why, because the topic for my clients last week was about giving things away. So let's look at some of these phrases that are really useful for you. There's no such thing as a free lunch. Easy come, easy go. If it's free, you're the product. My clients told me these phrases during the past week. Thank you, clients. You're great. So there's no such thing as a free lunch. Yes, that's very familiar. If someone is giving you something in a business situation or a business context, they want something back. So everything has a hidden cost, even if it seems free. Here is the example. The company offers free snacks, but they track your data. There's no such thing as a free lunch. Let me point out that in my country, most people say data. Data. I kind of like data for some reason. I think it's probably because if you put the letter E here, we would all say date. So I like using that default, the thing we do as a basic standard, as a default, like the default settings on your phone, for example. That's how the phone comes. Well, this is how I usually just say that word, data. That's how my language comes. That's how this word comes when you speak to me. but they track your data. So it's not free. The service is not free. You are paying for it, even if you're not aware that you are paying for it. Easy come, easy go. Let us look at the example first. He won $1,000 gambling, but spent it all the next day. Easy come, easy go. It was easy to get the money, so it was easy to spend the money. This is not just about money. This is about many things in life. If you get it for free, or if you get something for free, you might not value it. You might not appreciate it, and it might disappear from your life pretty quickly. Things acquired quickly or easily are often lost just as easily. And I have heard this one before, but one of my clients reminded me about this. If it's free, you're the product. Free services often profit by selling your data or attention. So social media apps don't charge money because if it's free, you're the product. Your data is being sold, and other companies are buying that data from the social media companies. Okay, let's move on. So one of the topics for the past week was about why businesses should give things away. You saw the link in that previous tab. Here is the article, 11 reasons your business should give more things away. Let me know in the comments, should businesses give things away for free generally? Should some businesses do this? Which businesses should not give things away for free? As usual, my clients had different opinions. They had mixed feelings about this topic. But overall, I think they agreed in general with what this article had to say. Sometimes people remember the company if the company gives something away for free. This is a lasting impression. So the company might give you a pen, and you carry the pen around with you. It's in your car, it's on your desk, and you remember the company. Someone might give a company a good review if you get a free product when they deliver something to you, preferably a useful product. That was one of the problems that my clients spoke about. I said there, preferably, something you would prefer. Some people would say preferably. That's totally fine. Tomato, but preferably the item would be useful. Let's even go further and say it should be useful. The product, the item, the free gift, the freebie should be useful. In the vocabulary tab for this article, you can see the word freebie right at the top of the list. The company gave out freebies like pens and mugs at the conference. I did say a pen. So this is an item given away for free, often for promotional purposes. What a great word, promotional, in the context of business. Let me promote the business. How can I do that? Let me give some free stuff away. Let me give it away. Okay, why? Because customers or clients will build a brand association. They will think about your product, your company, your service, because they have received something from you. So they associate your company with something free, and then this is the theory at least, your customers, your clients will go to you when they need the real thing, the full product, the full service, or more services, or more products. So they have built a brand association. Okay, let's move on. If something is on point, it is very directly relevant. Also a difficult word. It is relevant. It is useful for the conversation you're having. It is relevant. So if something is on point, it is very relevant. It has taken a short time to make the point without wasting time, possibly like I do in some of these videos, because I like to try to explain things quite thoroughly. So her presentation was on point, clear, engaging, and professional, perfectly executed or exactly right, not too long, very relevant, just right. It was very on point. Aftercare, wow, that is taking me back to my primary school days, because at school, when I was at school, we went to aftercare. I didn't really go there, but my friends did. So they went to aftercare, where this is where kids play while waiting for their parents to pick them up, usually at 5 o'clock or around 5 o'clock or even 5:30 when parents finish working. They go and fetch their kids from aftercare. This is slightly different. This is in the context of business. I should write that down. I've said it a few times. In the context of whatever, in this case business, and it's in that situation. Generally. So you can talk about the context of politics, the context of the economy, in the context of personal relationships. So we're talking about a business context, and I think I had spoken about a school context. So in this context, good aftercare, like follow-up emails, improve customer satisfaction. I'm not sure if that's true, but that's the theory. Support or service provided after a purchase. Okay, let's take a look at this one. Word of mouth. Really nice phrase. How did you hear about us, the company? How did you hear about the company? Someone told me. Oh, just word of mouth. Yeah. We did not use social media. We did not use printed advertisements. We just tell people about our company, and they tell their friends and family. The restaurant grew through word of mouth, not advertising. And these are recommendations passed informally between people. Oh, what a nice phrase. He is creating a buzz with his new song on the radio. What's a radio? Yeah, on Spotify or on whatever streaming music platform you use, the new product launch, their launch is not a verb, it is a noun. The new product launch created a buzz on social media. Everyone is talking about it. Excitement or interest. Okay, I think that's enough from this article. Please remember to read everything out loud. Pause the video. Definitely subscribe to my email list. And if you click subscribe at my website, then you will get this week's or every week's PDF version of the spreadsheet. And you can pause the video, read from the spreadsheet, listen to how I have said things, keeping in mind that I speak with more of a neutral accent, possibly more of a British accent, but it's not very British. It's quite neutral. If you would like to sound more American, remember it is the letter A that you can change to have the most American sound. So advanced, example, fast. That will make you sound more American if that's how you would like to sound. But please, don't do that. If possible, please keep your accent. Never lose your accent. Your accent is nice. Trust me. It's exotic for English speakers who have English as their first language. And for most people, we like to hear your different accent. Just speak clearly. Please remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel and comment, like, give me some questions, and I'll include the answers in next week's video or in later week's videos. Okay, let's look at some of the things that my clients said this week that can be improved. So someone said if he or she really need it, he or she needs. I need, you need, they need, we need, he needs, she needs, it needs. Just have to memorize. You just have to memorize those. My health insurance, this was either meant to be my health insurance or my health insurer. The person who provides your insurance is your health insurer, and that is your insurance. What is your insurance policy? High level, medium level, low level. Every employee looked on it. You never look on something. I'll tell you an exception now. Every employee looked at it. They looked at something. When can you look on something? She looked down on him, which means she disapproves. She is not happy with what he said or what he did. So she disapproves of him, of something he said, of something he did. So that's not a good thing. If someone looks down on you, they are judging you. And that's not very nice, unless maybe you did something worthy of judgment. It was worthy of judgment. Moving on. What else did my clients say? If I can find the tab. Yes. Next client. We get many free stuff at my work. You should say a lot of free stuff. If you want to say many, we get many free things at my work. Why? Because stuff is difficult to count unless you know exactly what the stuff is, but then you would be talking about, all of those things. How many things? 50 things. How much stuff? Quite a lot of stuff. At least 50 items. And there, items is plural. Stuff, you must say a lot of free stuff or how much stuff. And then we get many free things or a lot of free things. That also works. Someone said so many pieces of clothes. This was interesting. It's not technically wrong, but a piece of clothes or a piece of clothing, it's almost like the clothing has been torn and it's in a different section. So it's like a piece of a shirt. It's a little confusing. I would prefer there are so many items of clothes or there is so much clothing. So much clothing, so many items of clothes. Both are fine. This is not wrong. Everyone will understand what you mean. And finally, 10% of it are good enough. 10% is just one number, basically, one section, one portion. So 10% of it is good enough. It's 1% technically. So 10% of it is good enough. And I think that was about clothing that is given away to charity, but I think I'm wrong because it's probably more than 10% of clothing that is given to charity that is good enough. Probably 90% is good enough and 10% is not good enough. Okay, moving on. The second article I would like to talk about is National Give Something Away Day. And I asked many of my clients, all of my clients, what would they give away? And this is kind of funny. Okay, so this is not very formal. I said it is kind of funny. This is a very American way of saying kind of funny, slightly funny. It's slightly funny because I should have seen their answers coming. I should have known what most of my clients would say. By the way, you can use this phrase as a default. Just like a normal way of saying it would be to say, I should have seen it coming. I should have seen it coming. He was clearly going to rip me off, steal my money, take my information, to rip someone off. I should have seen it coming. He looked dodgy. He looked a little untrustworthy. Untrustworthy. He is not worthy of being trusted. A little different. You are not always dodgy if you are untrustworthy. You might be a really good person, but you're not trustworthy. But if you're dodgy, you're not trustworthy and you might rip someone off or you might do something bad. Okay, why should I have seen it coming? Because I asked my clients what would they give away, and all of the female clients said their clothing. Surprise, surprise. Let me write that one down too. Very common. Surprise, surprise. They said that they would give away some of their clothing, some of their shoes, because they have too much of it. The men didn't really have good answers for this. My answers were probably the best answers. I would give away one of my surfboards. And actually, coincidentally, does that word ring a bell? Coincidentally, by chance, I was speaking to a friend earlier and I said that I would give him one of my surfboards. So the topic did make me think about giving away a surfboard, and I know that my one friend might appreciate one of my surfboards because I now have too many. I bought 2 bargain surfboards yesterday, 2 bargain surfboards, really good surfboards for not a lot of money, very cheap. They were very cheap. I had to buy them. Okay, so I would give away one of my surfboards, and I also have a bass guitar, and I thought because I don't play it, I should give it away. I'm probably not going to do that, but I should. Notice again that I said gonna. I'm probably not going to. I'm not going to do it. I'm not gonna do it. Sounds more American if I say gonna. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground already. I'm not sure how far we are into this video, how long it has been, how far we are into it. So let me work towards a conclusion by finishing off what some of my clients said. I have 6 more suggestions for you. Someone said you have to be an employee, please. You have to be an employee. Why an? Because employee begins with an E, a vowel, so you do have to use an. You can also say the employees of the company were not happy or whatever, but you do need an or the if you're being specific, but you could not use it if you were saying things like employees should arrive on time. That's just generally true. But if you're being specific, the employees were not on time yesterday. Someone said, I will write him back. This person should have said, I will write him back. A short way of saying, I will write back to him. But you cannot use a past or past tense verb after will, because that is a contradiction of tenses. You will do something in the future. It has not happened yet, so you cannot say wrote, because wrote is the past or past tense of write. If he don't crash somewhere, weird. If he doesn't crash somewhere, they don't, we don't, he doesn't, she doesn't, it doesn't. And then one of my client's favorite mistakes, it's something what is very popular these days. No, it's something that is very popular these days. I'm fairly sure that after the word something, you will never say what. What did I just do? I want to underline it. Okay, so it's something that is very popular these days. I have been thinking that I should sell a surfboard. What are you thinking about? There's a what. Oh, I have been thinking that I should sell a surfboard. This is the right way how to do it. Okay, that's fine. I would prefer this is the right way to do it. You do not need to say how, because the question would have contained the word how. How do you do it? This is the right way to do it, or this is how to do it. It's one of the points I don't agree so much. It's one of the points, one of a plural always, I don't agree with so much. You always agree with something or you do not agree with something. If there is no something, you just say, I don't agree. But if you want to be more specific, I don't agree with you, with him, with it, with them. I don't agree with them. All right, please remember I have 2 books. You can get them over at Amazon.com. Remember, I want you to read everything out loud or aloud. What should you be reading? Everything. And these 2 books are just options for you. This first one tells you a story about a big change in my life. I worked full-time in the UK for 4 years before deciding to come back to South Africa with my partner and live a simple life. This is the story of how we did that. And this is the story of how you can probably do that too in the way that I did. It's not too specific. You can take some of the ideas and you can adapt them or adjust them in any way that you would like to do so. So these are books that you could read, and if you would like to have English sessions with me, you can contact me over at the website. There is a contact button, and we can arrange a session together. And later, if you would like to, during our time together, you can speak about some of the things that I wrote about in these books. That's enough for now. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, share. It will really help the channel. See you next time. Ciao.